Okay, Libra, what's good? So the energy is kind of wild right now for y'all. You know, it's the don't even get me started energy. It's the what's the plan? What's the motion? Like, how do I deal with people that be frustrating me or trying to put a lock on me, trying to stop me and block me from what I deserve. That's kind of the theme, Libra. That's kind of the theme. And my device, of course, as soon as I start this goddamn thing, my device will be popping off. That's kind of the theme as well. There's something going on too with devices. There's people contacting you through like things that they shouldn't be able to be contacting you through. And I feel like one of those things is definitely the devices. I feel like there is like a strong pull to need to have like security. I don't know if they talking about like like just having internet security in general, or they're talking about actual security at an event, but they definitely talking about security and not feeling quite like safe enough. And I feel like obviously you don't trust people, right? But there's another layer to that distrust. There's another layer to this feeling of I don't know if I can accept anyone into my energy or into my bubble. I don't know if anyone is worthy enough to step towards me and be there for me. I don't necessarily think that you guys are even really looking for that. So, it's possible that this is a subject that approaches you unexpectedly. Okay. Now, if you like this video, I want you to comment. I want you to subscribe. Libra, Libra, Libra. I did write down some messages for you. I didn't mean to smack the mic like that. But I did write down some messages for you, okay? I've kept my composure for long enough. That's one thing I see. I'll give these hoes something to watch. Another thing I see, hence why I think you feeling stalked, or you feeling a little bit um, diminished from the amount of people that are coming towards your energy or making you feel some type of way. Another one is you never fought for me until you needed something from my pocket. That's another thing that popped up. You never fought for me until you needed something from my pocket. And that pocket, it can mean financial. That pocket can mean sexual. That pocket can mean, a house, a home, a car, a job. It could be literally anything that someone could get from you. So I don't want to just restrict that to a financial thing. That really is pretty much a personal thing for something that you dealt with in your current situation. Now, I feel like I'm also tackling like a younger crowd, or a crowd of people that have been through a lot. It's shockingly for your age, right? But a lot of people look at you like you're crossed, like you're stupid, like you are just some fucking free bird, or in some type of way, like they try to play you for a fool or a freak. It's like you young for all of the knowledge that you come with. And that's what I want to say. You might be, all from 20 to 30 years old. They really be talking about like early 30s being like the prime years for y'all. For some of y'all, they talk about feeling like pressed, I guess, because you're waiting to get into a relationship, or you're waiting to find the right type of suit. Like, I think it's all about the way the person presents himself at first to you. It's all about first impression, right? And you're looking for the person to present themselves in a way that is real. I don't think you don't care about the charm. Like I think you break through that quite well, actually. I think most Libras are actually the charmers in a relationship. They're the people that try to do the most and do the best and try to show off as much as they can to their partner, to their person, and to the person that they want to love as well. So it's like you make people feel wanted, you make them feel heard, you make them feel like the only person, when that doesn't necessarily have to always be the case, right? They could feel like the only person. And a lot of people will say this shit about Libras, that y'all are wishy-washy, or that y'all for some reason you always keep someone on the back burner. And that's something I will say is a cause for trust issues. No, not all Libras have that tendency to leave someone on the back burner or have someone on the side in order to appease the need of being like, at least I know I have this person. At least I know I have this person if this one falls through. It's not always like that. You know what I mean? Y'all think pretty logically and you don't want to overcomplicate things. So that's where I feel like a lot of people are in your life right now is overcomplication. There could be people at your jobs, at your workspace, who try to readjust what's going on with your finances. They try to readjust like your paychecks or try to readjust your position. But I think that there's a lot to do with someone waiting for you to take a position or waiting for you to take control or show the right signs and the right features, I guess, for a particular job. And I just don't think that that's going to happen. Now, you could also be someone who's hiring someone or trying to bring someone under your wing. There's a lot of fraud out there right now, and that's what kind of I see reflecting in your character and your behavior and how you're looking at people right now. There's a lot of frauds. There's a lot of people who want what you got, whether it's, like I said, financial, sexual, wherever it's at. There's a lot of people who participate in fraudulent activity thinking that, you're someone who's easy to play because you have hearts, right? You have hearts. You use your words very, I wouldn't say sensually, but maybe more or less like sweet. Like you're just a sweet person in general, right? And you actually kind of take this whole route of being kind of like I want to say a Buddha, and that's kind of sound weird initially, but a Buddha to me is like somebody who acts calm through some of the most stressful, chaotic situations. Like when you raise your voice, there's very few and far in between as far as how much it takes you to get to that point. And so now that someone has brought that ugliness out of you, someone has kind of like, made you feel uncharacteristic of yourself. They just brought out such an evil, ugly emotion. In a way, it's like a sickness or a fetish for this person to watch you struggle, to watch you fall apart. It feels like a sadism to me. It feels like, they talk about like the raspiness of your voice when you're yelling or when you scream or when you just it's like a shriek, right? You get like a raspiness where it's like sad, it's annoyed, it's angry, it's all these negative connotation. When in reality, it's like you're reacting to the toxicity that someone has brought to you or brought into your life. You have the appropriate reaction, right? Now, another appropriate reaction would be also to cut certain things off that don't serve you. But there's also a such thing as keeping yourself safe. And when you don't necessarily know what the future is going to bring, who the future is going to bring, what scenario is actually going to play out with somebody, you kind of keep people at the edge of your fingertips. Okay, you have gained control and knowledge over them, so that if there was a case where someone came up after you in some type of way or tried to manipulate the situation, you would be able to navigate that quite perfectly at this point in time. Okay, I'm not saying that it's always been this stable with you emotionally and mentally, because I think a lot of people try to make it about, okay, well, if Libra is that stable, then why is Libra not in housing? Why is Libra not doing this? Why is Libra not doing that? The challenge is all here, right? The mental part of life is what takes Libra for a ride. It is not the job part. It's not the working part. It's not having to work for what your needs, right? The part of life that is incredibly challenging for Libra is the head and the heart, right? The head and the heart, and mixing and melding these things together can kind of create a little bit of a toxic situation. What I will say is you guys use those things differently. You use the head and the heart differently. And when somebody tries to tell you or convince you that they are somehow there to appease you or make you happy, you instantly go into a denial mode where you're like, there's no way like a person could make me happy. A romantic connection could make me happy. I'm sorry, but that's not the way it works. You go logic, right? You go logic, which I would say logical has always worked for you. But in the confines of a relationship, whether it's new, whether it's old, or some toxic situation from the past that you just been kind of sitting on and rerunning through your head, like, you got to understand there's a certain measure, like you have to use a certain amount of gut and intuition in these situations. While logically you can see this person being beneficial or this lifestyle being beneficial, you know, what has it brought to you today, like currently? Because I know Libra can also plan for the future quite well. You guys are really good at like the whole 4-year, 5-year plans. Even if you say you don't fucking know what you want, you still plan and plot for it and scheme for it. And it makes people think that you have your shit together, which, like I said, you have your shit rounded up more than most people, right? I think that some people around you maybe think that they're coming along for the ride. I think that if you have a lover, your lover views you as someone who's ahead of them and thinks that they can cling to you or move ahead on your train type shit, when in reality, like, that's not the plan for you. Okay? That's not the plan. You know, I just keep picking up on, like, okay, well, you know, in my mind, I can't imagine a life where I'm like with you for good. That's just that is what it is. Or, you know, if not a romantic situation, then it might be a work situation or a family situation. I just can't imagine a life where I would be with someone like you or a situation like you for the rest of my life. I just can't imagine that. Like, I can't imagine me having to struggle and suffer through this whole scenario over and over and over again. It's just reopening and reenacting all the traumatic versions of yourself, and that's not you. When someone gets you undone or untied, you refuse to sit there and allow it to keep shaking you and shaking you and shaking you. Some people have that stubborn pride, right? That stubborn pride that keeps them in situations that don't fit them, don't like the neglect and stuff like that. But like, you guys don't have that pride. You know, you don't have that same thing that tells you, oh, you need to stay. You have every nerve in your body telling you that you need to go, that you shouldn't fight for this, that you shouldn't have to fight for or beg for anyone's affection or attention, regardless of who they are. Okay? It's like when you can't tell someone loves you, that's a problem, right? When you can't tell someone cares for you, that's an issue. That's a problem. The issue is that you guys underestimate what you can feel emotionally. You try to tell yourself that, you know, oh, well, maybe I just don't know because I'm so scarred from the past. I'm so triggered. I'm so this. I'm so that. Like, you try to downplay yourself. When in reality, Libras are incredibly sensitive people. I know y'all, right? So you try to downplay and be like, you know, okay, well, you know, maybe I just don't know that this person loves me, or I don't know if this person's telling the truth because I have trust issues. That's it. It's like, yeah, you got trust issues, okay? You know, you've been hurt before. But at the same time, that's no excuse for that feeling, that lack, right? That lackluster relationship where you don't feel sad. There's a even if it's a very small portion of you that doesn't feel satisfied, you still don't feel satisfied. And it's not a you issue, you know. And I think that, you know, when Libras put themselves in the position of having a lover or a connection or a relationship that is sacrificial in nature, right? You're sacrificing a lot. You're putting a lot on the line for a person. You know, obviously expectations, they roll up some, right? You start expecting certain things out of someone that you've claimed as yours. And I think that that's what's important about that, is that you also take note of the things that are not coming from this person, that are just coming from yourself. And like, what do I mean by that, right? I mean, you have fulfilled your own needs for a very long time, Libra. You have gotten very used to an individualistic lifestyle, regardless of having family, regardless of having, you know, people who have supported you. It doesn't matter who they are, really. It's just, it's a matter of your mindset, okay? You've always chosen this over this, right? or this over that, right? You've always chosen to be the intelligence, okay, the cerebral person. And maybe you've separated yourself from the idea of knowing and feeling like you should feel loved, right? It's like you kind of separated yourself from emotions and started telling yourself that, like, the bare minimum, or like, you know, as long as someone's treating you okay, that's okay, right? It's like, well, you know, they're treating me okay. It's like you got an okay, but not great or good or amazing. It's like you sell yourself short because you know you're imperfect. But all people are imperfect. You deserve your absolute perfect love, right? You deserve perfect opportunities regardless of imperfection, right? You know, obviously a person that's coming towards you romantically is not going to have everything going on, but they're going to have a majority where they can actually, not only can they love you, but they can also function in their own life while loving you. They don't fucking, sit up, pick their dirty ass feet up on your couch. You know, they don't walk into your house and sit there for a whole motherfucking week doing nothing. You know, they going to have the same ideals and the same love for life that you do, regardless of all the shit that you've been through. Like I said, I'm talking to a group that has been through hell within a very small span of time throughout your lifetime, you know? Like, even if you're in your 30s, like 30, 33, 35, that's crazy young for all the experiences that kind of have slowed together in order to create this one big thing you call your life, right? It's very, very, I don't want to say chaotic because I don't feel that. It's a lot. It's all the ups and downs and ebbs and flows, and like having to glue yourself back together piece by piece by piece, even if you're in 1,000 pieces. It's like you took each and every single one and repaired that. Even if your attempts to fix yourself haven't necessarily been like positive, right? You might not have always had coping mechanisms that are good for you, but you've also paid the price. And because you paid the price for negative coping mechanisms, now you also today understand that you don't need to be doing nothing like that. You know what I mean? You don't need to be selling yourself short in any type of way, or giving your body over to anyone, or giving your body over to alcohol and smoking and that sort of thing, right? You know, I'm not saying like all vices are negative or bad, and most addicts, in fact, will try to say that they're in control of most vices, but we all know, right? We all know that there's a little wild part in your brain where if it's just tapped into just right by the wrong person, that is going to trigger you off. Okay? You said, what's good culture? I noticed you be skipping Scorpios. Are you a Scorpio and don't want the source? I'm actually not a Scorpio. Most people think I am a Scorpio, though. Isn't that interesting? I am an Aquarius. I'm a Capricorn Aquarius. I'm right on the cusp of both of them. So no, that's not the case. This is Libra's reading though right now. So if you could just give the space to Libra instead of talking all the nonsense in the chat about whoever else. I'm specifically focused on Libras right now. I just do what calls to me, and if that sign ain't calling to me, I love Scorpios. You know, I can't say that I don't, but like I said, if it ain't calling, it ain't going through. I'm not going to do a whole reading on a group that I ain't connecting with. So that's just is what it is. You know what I mean? Ebbs and flows. It comes and goes. That might be also another thing that Libra is dealing with, is the pressure of it all. It's like the pressure of suggestion. It's not that it's not like peer pressure, but it's more like somebody suggesting that they love you or have love for you, or suggesting that they have emotions for you, but like then also not taking action and showing that they love you. Like there's no whole feeling. It's like, okay, so you know, I mean, you say words, right? But words can't account for like the action that I'm missing. Like my body doesn't feel loved, or my my intimacy, like the pieces of me that are kind of like a little fucked up and broken, y'all Libras, you got intimacy problems, okay? You just do, right? Then I'm not even going. You aren't selfish for having intimacy problems and keeping your body away from certain peoples, right? You just, you're just not gonna play that same game everyone else be playing around you. You simply save yourself for whoever and whatever you're comfortable with, and that's just facts, right? And so when we're dealing with this intimacy problem, when you can't trust someone with your body or with your intimacy, then I would say that's just not the right fucking person for you. You can't solidly say 1,000% that this is the person for you. So move the fuck on, right? I if you have been in this relationship up and down for years and years and years, what are you staying for, right? It's never been satisfying. It's never reached that. It's never hit that point. It's almost like it's never hit that G spot. It's never become a satisfying relation. It's just never been there, right? It's never, and it never will, right? Now we did kind of talk about in the beginning how you got some onlookers and eyes on you in sort of a negative way as well. Most people see you taking space, and that makes them feral. That makes them very, very disagreeable. That makes them want to. It's almost as if, okay, so how you had your DMs open, you had you were ready to talk to everyone, you were ready to give to everyone, and then when you decided to pull back, that's when everyone came in, right? It's like you were out there and ready to just party and give and give and give and give and love and love and love and love and love. And then the moment that you took a step back and said, I don't want to deal with none of this no more. I'm going to pull back. Like, fuck all of you. I ain't want to deal with this no more. Like, that ain't me. That ain't for me. The moment you did that, everybody started wanting to flood in. That is the shit that I'm talking about with inconsistencies, with not only just intimacy, but communication as well. There is no line in the sand or a boundary for these people, right? There is no the moment that you had decided in your head, these people ain't right for me, and I'm going to just let it be. I'm going to let it slide. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to separate myself from that situation. They come in, and tell me why that is, Libra. Tell me why that is, right? I'll make it real. I'll make it real easy for you, right? It's because they would rather sit there and watch you be uncomfortable, right? Argumentative, disagreeable. They don't want to see your love informed. They don't want to see you become the motherfucking angel, the caring, loving, maternal or paternal energy that you could be for a household, that you could be for a partner. They don't want to see that. They want to see you mad. They want to see you mad for them. They want to see you aggressive and rude and disrespectful as fuck. They like that side of you. They like the childishness that comes with that side. They like the pettiness that comes with that side. That is never you. When you're trying to get into a relationship, that is never ever your intention to cross that line, and yet they keep crossing that line. For what though? For what though? It's because they love to destroy you. They love to pick and prod at your personality. They love to push you across the edge and make you into a mean motherfucker. They just love that. They love the attention, the negative attention that they get from that, because they know that part of them knows that they can control you better when you're in that state. Because when you're in your love state, when you're wanting love for yourself, when you're loving yourself, when you're looking at yourself and you wanting more for yourself, then you wouldn't put up with them at all. In fact, you wouldn't put up with them at all. You just wouldn't. But when they catch you out of character, You best motherfucking believe. You're gonna be petty as a motherfucker. And you're gonna drag that shit out. Because sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes the anger builds up. And it's not even just through one situation or one person. Sometimes it builds up. And it doesn't leave you alone. It keeps bugging and bugging and bugging. And that's why I'm saying y'all need... When you said you needed a break, and when you said that you was just going to cut everyone off, follow through with that. Follow through with it. Just follow through with it. Do not suddenly be like, oh, well, they came in. You know, I feel like now is the right timing. I guess they came in when I was about to leave or when I was about to block them. Da 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 da. Block them. Do not second guess your choice. Block them. Do not receive what they're trying to give you because you pull back. They're trying to piss you off. They're trying to make you feel timid, anxious, and annoyed. They're trying to make you think about them just doing the extra shit, the extra mile, going all that petty shit, that petty direction. Like that's the shit that gets me, right? Libra, you guys have a villainistic role, I think, in most people's lives because you call them out, and you call them out in a way that's almost like passive aggressive, right? And it's not saying that you can be sweet, right? But a lot of the time it's like when people test your gangster, when people push that certain button, okay, when it's like they keep repeating the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, like you just keep going around and around and around in a circle. You can't press yourself over a situation, and so you react in a way that's less than kosher, and then you feel embarrassed. Not for that person, and you definitely don't feel sorry. So I don't know why you apologize to someone for popping off on them like that, because in reality you don't feel sorry. So it's why are you saying sorry? Why are you saying sorry if you don't feel sorry? You know what I mean? You're not a sorry individual. You're just not. You're reacting appropriately to the situation that has been given to you. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Libra? So now I'm finally touching the cards. How long has it been? How long has it been so far? Okay, 27. We're not doing too bad. I want to do a couple of cards, and then we'll fly to the next one. We'll see who comes up. I think Gemini. They want me to do Gemini. Maybe y'all have some sort of connection with other air signs right now. Gemini, another Libra, or an Aquarius. But there's definitely things revolving around the big three, the big air, and they really want you to try to go for the structure that makes you happy, and not the structure that your parents taught you or tried to teach you, or that religion tried to teach you, or that spirituality tried to teach you. Go for the structure that makes you happy, okay? That makes you feel free. That makes you feel heard, okay? Because nobody can tell you shit about the way that you need to be loved. When somebody is telling you that you're too much, you're too this, you're too picky, you're too that, you're too this, it's like you're gonna love in the way that you need to be loved. You're gonna find someone that suits that style automatically, okay? Well, as far as where you're currently at, if you're accepting the toxicity and the drama and the neglect, then that's where you're at in your mind, and you need to fix that. If you are somebody who is well-rounded, or that's what you believe about yourself, then you will continue to go down the path of only accepting the man or the woman that fits your specific needs, okay? And it's not too much. Whoever be saying that you doing too much, or you're too needy, you're too clingy, you're too this, you're too that, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's the type of love that you want, and that's the type of love you deserve. That's bullshit, It just is. And that person that's telling you too much and trying to minimize and make you feel like shit, they're just insecure about their own situation, their own growth. They're just insecure about the fact that they can't even fucking commit in the first place. They can't find nobody that wants them. You know what I mean? If there was really hot shit like that, they would already have a partner. They wouldn't need you, someone like you who gives and gives and gives and gives, and expect some giving in return. So let's see what cards come out for y'all. Oh, we do deal with the bombs out here. Stupid mistakes will cost you a lifetime. The bomb shit. Oh god, y'all. Oh, some of y'all is baby daddy, baby mama energy. Okay, we talking about manipulation, manipulation station. Why I don't know why they be talking about someone riding the train or someone getting a ride over to your house or to your place in order to try to bug you, torture you, make you feel some type of way. Now take that message or leave it. But this person, you might see them in public often without even trying to see them. You know what I mean? And they're doing that shit on purpose. The reason why you keep seeing them over and over and over and over again is because they is doing some stalking. They is doing some stalking. They is following you places. They is trying to manipulate and fuck with your head. That's what they trying to do. Or I saw you over at the store. Or I saw you over at the bodega type shit. Or I saw you over at the gas station. Like, them motherfuckers is doing some stalking. Let's be real. They doing some stalking. They trying to make you feel, you know, small. And like you can't protect yourself. Like I said, safety is key in these situations. And if you don't feel safe, you definitely don't feel loved or feel heard. That's weird as shit. It's just some weird people shit. Let's see. What else we got? Some of y'all, the lack of vulnerability comes from... it comes from there's a certain placement I feel like relaxing your chart, and it might be earth sign. You could be mainly an earth sign and you have little Libra accents, or vice versa. You could be a Libra with a little earth sign somewhere in your Venus or in your Mars. The anger part of you, though, it relies on Virgo. That's what they talk about. It relies on Virgo, one of the most aggressive signs of the zodiac. Okay, if Virgo could, you know, perform murder, half the time they would. Okay, half the time they would. You know, and I can't agree or disagree that in certain situations is or isn't the right mode. I'll be real. And that might be a little aggressive, but Libra, you have that aggressive side in you. But you got to know what's healthy and what's not. You got to know that anger is healthy. Anger is healthy. Passive aggression is not. Anger is healthy, though. Anger is healthy. Okay? Sadness can be healthy. Happiness is obviously healthy. Okay? There's certain things that you kind of look at and you're like, that's weak. That's dumb. That's stupid. That's that earth in your motherfucking chart. That's that earth in your shit. I have a majority of my motherfucking list be earth signs, y'all. And I know what the fuck that feels like. I know what that feeling is. It's the feeling of feeling weak and vulnerable, and you hate it. You hate it. But that's something you're gonna heal from. It is. They be talking about somebody coming in and trying to help you heal through this or from this. And this doesn't have to be romantic at all. This could simply be an eye-opening experience. A person that just brings that into your life. Could be a fire sign. They talk about a fire sign. They talk about a water sign. They talk about someone bringing in like an awakening almost. And it doesn't have to be that it's a person who's going to teach you something like verbally. It could be teaching you through action. Okay, so this might not be a long-term relationship. In fact, I'm not seeing long-term. I'm just simply seeing somebody that can teach you the ways of not giving a fuck. Like, you stop giving a fuck about, I guess, showing your emotions. You're able to just freely express yourself without having to worry whether someone's going to criticize, belittle, or bug you and bother you and tell you that you're too aggressive, okay, or you're too sensitive. Like, that shit is I hate people, dude. That's why I hate people. You are worth the affection and the love and the attention, regardless of how much you cry, regardless of how much that you react. So let's see what else we got. Okay, so they talking about the choices that led y'all up to a certain point. So they're talking about the choices that led you up to possibly taking on a a new love affair, or a new project. They talk about new things coming up financially, and kind of conflicting with their home relationships, with the home base, conflicting with your relationships with your children, conflicting with your relationships with your parent, conflicting with the relationships with your lover. They're talking about your progression is always pulled back. It's almost like a rubber band. That's what I imagine. It's like your progression is always tense and really, really painful, because these people keep you hidden and held back. They keep you triggered. They keep you feeling like you can't sacrifice some of that time that you use in that position. And I'm not saying you sacrificing time for your children is a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. Leave the kids out of it type shit. This is about grown ass people feeling offended or hurt over the fact that you are trying to move on with your life. You are trying to progress. Okay. You have not always embodied that energy, though. You kind of stayed in the position where you were just too comfortable in order to get uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But this is kind of where we're sitting right now. You know that you have no other choice but to move forward. But you also know that everybody in your motherfucking life is going to hate you for it. Okay? So it is, I know, Libra, you're like, well, I've been alone before in my life. It doesn't really matter. I've been alone before. I can be alone again. It's not that big a deal. But it is a big deal for you. It is a big deal. And when you try to trivialize it like that, it makes it sink even deeper. It makes you feel even more anxious and more angry and more, unsatisfied with the situation. Because when you deny your emotions, deny your feeling, you're also denying the space to feel that out and mourn that situation, right? Like right now, you should be trying to actively, possibly mourn the fact that you have to release a lot of people you supposedly love in order to progress forwards. You're like, well, if they love me, they wouldn't hold me back. And I agree with that. 1,000%. I agree with that. I totally do. But you're also you still love them. You still have emotions. You still have feelings there. It's not that it's a problem. It's just simply that the fact that you're not tackling it correctly. Thank you, Conductor Tarot. You're not tackling it correctly. You're not confronting it like you should be confronting it. You're leaving it on the back burner, and it's building up inside you like a volcano. And that's where the passive aggression starts coming from. That's where the lashing out starts coming from. That's where the unsettled emotions start coming from. Where you're, some of y'all is crying yourself to sleep. Others of y'all is fucking screaming into the pillow and punching the fucking pillow. Others of y'all is like you have to constantly maintain some sort of everyday, like possibly you smoke every single day, possibly you have sex every day, you masturbate every day. There's something that you need to do every day in order to calm your nerves, but it's not helping. It's not helping because you keep denying. That's why there's no balance, there's no structure in denying your own emotions and how you feel. Those are yours and for you only, really. It's your business. And so because it's your business, you should invest in your own business type shit. And, that could be taken literal figuratively. Some of y'all, it's like you've been sitting on the idea for a real long time to start your own shit. But you're sitting there like, how would I do this? Or, I don't feel like I have enough, I don't feel like I have enough money or enough practice or enough this or enough that. Babe, you do, right? You do. And you keep over preparing, okay? You keep overdoing it instead of just moving forward, right? Like I said, everything inside of you is holding you back, including the people around you. So let's see what they want to say. We're going to use some tarot cards just real quick. Ten of Sticks. Yeah, you guys are working hard to appease the people that you love, to appease yourself as well, to finally become happy. To move forward affectionately instead of becoming cold like you I would say in certain situations you have to close off your emotions in order to get by and to get through, and it's possible that you are cold on people that you regret being cold to. Okay, you regret those moments of being cold because you ended up having a missed opportunity, or missing out on telling someone your real emotions, and it's always kind of left this hole in your heart of what you wanted to say to somebody versus what was said. So we have courting here, right? So like I said, y'all enveloped, some of y'all in a new relationship, and others of you, it's a long drawn out game. I feel like a little bit like Monopoly, or I feel like a little bit like Sorry, right? Where it's like, it's sometimes the relationship will surprise you and become something that's really like wonderful, and other times the relationship will not surprise you and be very, very boring and misleading and foul, and the person will be very disrespectful. So it's like there's no in between, right? There's no in between for y'all. It's two extremes. That's what I feel like. But you are like kind of like the catalyst for all of this internal shit, all of this, like every time you meet a partner, it's a reflection of what you're feeling internally. So keep that in mind. 8 of Sticks and Father of Baskets in reverse. Okay, so unbalanced masculine energy. They talk about an unbalanced masculine energy around you because you need to learn to, I don't want to say manipulate. You need to learn to talk to this person or become a team with this person. There's something about becoming a platonic team. So maybe not necessarily like getting close enough to be intimate with this person, but definitely maintaining some sort of a friendship or a some sort of a conversation. Okay, communication. That's what they're talking about with this male here. There's a masculine here who has kind of given up in certain respects. And I want to say that their decision is, I wouldn't say it was the worst decision at the time, but now I would say like you guys are both in a really great place in order to start anew as friends. Okay, as platonic friends instead of starting a relationship. Like, I just feel like the relationship part is all wrong, that you shouldn't try to come towards this person in a physical manner. I feel like a distance would be just fine. I think communication would just be fine, So if you're worried about that situation, just communicate. That's all I would say. There's nothing that this person can do at this point in time to make you feel safe, to make you feel heard, because they've already kind of spoiled that. They've already hurt you. So, and you're never going to forgive them. You guys hold grudges like no other. So, I would say, just leave it where it's at. Leave it where it's at. Communicate, but don't get physical. Okay, Mother of Baskets says, hey, this is all that fucking family shit that they keep talking about. They keep talking about how you've become like an upgraded version of the people that were in your life, in your family life. Become an upgraded individual where you have expanded on your emotions and your intuition and the things that they could never ever do. Okay, that's what I will say. You can never ever do. Some of y'all have a sibling or a sister or a female in your life, your family life, who has basically posed a problem or an issue when it comes to self-esteem, when it comes to security, when it comes to feeling loved and appreciated. This person fully believes that that's something that you don't necessarily deserve. They're always second guessing your manhood, your womanhood. They're always making you feel very, very small, very, very almost like worry stricken. I want to say anxious, it would be the proper term, but like a panic and anxiety is genuinely what I get when you're around this person. 9 of Coins in the upright is you're not scared of this person. That's what I want to tell you. You're not scared of them. Okay, you're not scared of the confrontation. You're really not scared of them at this point in time. And I think they know that. And I think because they know that, they also feel a little bit more threatened and more on guard. So if you're wondering why this person has been such a nuisance or a problem for you lately, if you're wondering why they've carried this long, drawn out, like I said, baggage into your life, and they continue to try to mock or humiliate, it's because they feel you succeeding. They feel you fleeting away from them. Okay, they feel that. They're aware of that. They know. They know. They're incapable of talking to you in a way that is positive and uplifting. Okay, incapable of it. So if that's the expectation, then you need to leave that situation right where it's at. That person could be a fire sign. Could be a fire sign. Could be a water sign. They talk about maybe shifting locations, changing places, or swapping. They keep talking about house swapping, car swapping, house swapping. Maybe you're turning in a car to get something nicer, something that suits your style, suits your needs. It's also possible that you're turning in a job or a position at work in order to get something that's way more fresh. I keep picking up on like clothes and shit like that, but it's not like the usual. It's not the norm when it comes to clothing. I don't know if you're trying to do something that's more like high end, because they really just be talking about like leather and faux leather, maybe bags or boots or shoes or something like that. You could be doing a lot of leather work, or you could be wearing a lot of leather. They be talking about this idea that like that smell, or like there's like a scent that you carry around with you that people really love. It might be spicy a little bit. Might be your cologne. Maybe you're developing new smell or oils or something of that nature. You guys are really into the creative zone right now, which is kind of crazy because I think the last Libra reading that I did, y'all were stuck. Y'all were feeling so stuck, and you were panicking, you were stressing out. You're sitting here like, oh fuck, like I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know if this is the right thing to do because I feel like everyone's gonna hate me, or hate my business, or hate where I'm at, or hate that I'm old school and stuff like that. But there is a particular crowd for you, and I feel like you have found that crowd, or I feel like you're about to find that crowd. I feel like you're about to tap into everything that you wanted when it comes to business. That is why you're experiencing massive growth. That's why you're starting to feel the stress fall off your shoulders. You're starting to embody whatever it is that you need as a owner of a fucking business, okay? You need backbone. You need to take risks. You need a certain amount of logic and balance with risk. You need to be able to calculate certain opportunities. Like I said in the beginning, be careful of scams, okay? Because they talk about somebody here scamming you potentially. Yeah, be careful of scams. Be careful of like loaning your money to somebody, or having someone work on something for you when it comes to your work position. Don't be cutting any corners or trying to pay someone a little bit less, or I would just keep to what you're doing currently right now, which seems pretty stable and steady. If you're trying to upgrade right now, maybe wait until next month. Wait until the end of next month to do that. Let's see what message they want to end up on. Let's see. Easy come and easy go. Let's see what they talk about. What they talk about. Mother of Sticks. 10 of Coins. Okay, so that's a move. If you're curious on whether you're going to get that move in, you're going to get that move in. Okay, if you're curious on whether it was going to be a safer neighborhood than what you fucking living in right now, it's going to be a safe neighborhood. You'll feel uncomfortable in your neighborhood. Well, it's just people that, whether it's just, there's a lot of violence, drugs, addiction, or it's just a very, very weird, sketchy place where you don't like the people in there. I feel like you females out there that be living in a pretty weird small town, weird shit, it just feels like people look at you a certain way and judge you a certain way, so you're incapable of moving up in your work life, your work position. You're incapable of moving up to where you need to be in your business, because the whole crowd around you is a bunch of weird fucks, bunch of weird motherfuckers. They make me uncomfortable, and I just flipped over a motherfucking car type shit. Just seeing them, seeing the look on their face. It's definitely a look of disgust and judgment. That's where they come from. Okay. Some of y'all could be from the south. They definitely talk about a opportunity that's coming elsewhere in another location, and it's going to be farther away than you wanted in the beginning. Because I don't think the plan was to fully abandon whatever you had going here, but I think there's other opportunities in this other position, other space, and if you ignore this now, if you're not going to take the risk, then you're going to have to wait another motherfucking year. Another year. Another long, drawn-out fucking year. And who the fuck wants to do that? You deserve happiness. You deserve to start your own shit. You deserve all of the shit that you've been manifesting and begging for from the universe. You deserve all that, They keep talking about islands and stuff like that. So you might be leaning towards going towards the beach or an island or somewhere warm, somewhere nice. Don't cut no corners, though, like I said, right? Because there's a lot of scams going on right now. A lot of weird shit with money. How people are just trying to take things. So, it's possible you put down the deposit for a home or an apartment and they just take the money and never reach out to you. Never, ever reach out to you. No, they never communicate with you again. They just keep talking about that scam shit. It's so weird. It's like something that that you shouldn't trust. And that is the thing. That's the key, y'all. Once you start feeling that pressure, or where it's like, okay, I don't have enough information on this, don't move forward. Do not be paying no one. Don't even I wouldn't even fucking continue to cooperate with these people. You know what I mean? Continue to call them, because there's someone weird. It's just a real weird situation. They're talking about a male here who has no proof of a situation. They have no proof that they're real, or no proof that whatever his business is real. This might be legalities. So he has no proof. And so you're going to win your case because he has no proof. Or it's possible the person that's representing you also has no proof, or you have no proof. So just be careful, y'all. Be careful. A lot of weird shit going on right now. I'm not liking this shit. But they said by the end of the summer, if you're worried about whether you're going to move or not, you are. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a solid move, a very clean cut situation. So regardless of who you're leaving behind, whoever you got buddy with or whatever, you don't give a fuck. Look, that's the card I just picked up, and that's what we're gonna leave off on. You picked up the fucking free man, who literally represents, like, I'm just walking away, cutting clean, cutting sides, fuck everybody else. This is me. This is what I want, so fuck y'all. It is what it is. What I say goes type shit. It might seem selfish. You're like, well, there's people I love. I love this person, or I love these people. You don't love them that much where you're going to start sacrificing your whole entire life and everything inside of you in order to appease someone else when you're truly unhappy. Let's be real. That's unreasonable as fuck. So, I don't like that shit. Alright, Libra. This was something. We almost lasted for a fucking hour in this bitch. It's crazy. Well, not really. Libra, you know how I feel about y'all. I love y'all. And I hype y'all all the motherfucking time, because to me, Libras are like the angels of the zodiac. People always got to be like, well, Libra's just sketchy and weird and distant. I feel like I never can understand what my Libra is thinking. And it's because Libra doesn't want you to. Libra don't like you like that. Libra's going to be real to you when the opportunity is there, right? When they start feeling like you're the one, you're the it, they going to move forward. If they are still questioning you, they aren't going to trust you, and they ain't going to move forward. They ain't going to marry you. They ain't going to pop down on one knee. They ain't going to accept no fucking proposal. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No, sir, I never needed him. Only need Jesus. Shut the fuck up. All right, y'all. Thank you. I hate people, dude.